My favorites are still audiobooks. I'm kind of a snob about it. I want the unabridged kind, but I really like being read to. I think it's a great luxury to be read to. So even now, when I'm cooking dinner or whatever I'm doing, I like to have at least one book by ears, one book by eyes, and usually a book that's good for me, as opposed to just a book for fun.
It's necessary for children. Even the storybooks, I was a teacher, and even the storybooks, the picture books, everything is preparing them better for school if they've had books in front of them all of their preschool years. And then it also helps those that are older also. And then it's such a joy when you're older to read what you want to read. And I do.
I developed a love of reading here, and I believe that it's helped me here through school and even through college. I think will be very beneficial to me.
I think that you can grow up in the library. It's for any age. The young ones, puzzles, picture books, audio tapes, books with audio tapes. You can use when you're younger, middle age, in your education, having resources for research papers.
And I've learned a lot by using the computer, which is available. It's more than a book in the library. The periodicals I like looking at, and every now and then I'll even look at the newspaper. But I can get more information by using the computer, and I've taught myself a lot. And they also have classes here.
Personally, for myself, if there's a project that we're looking to do that I'm not real sure how to do it, it's one of the first places that we can go to find out how to do that, to research.
I also know that the library does a lot of community type events. They do a lot of, I know that they have the literacy program that goes on there that maybe a lot of people don't realize that is very beneficial and always is in great demand.
And I will say that books are my favorite thing from the library, but there's so much more here. There's almost always something to look at. For instance, there is a permanent collection of artwork here. There are often things in the community room to look at. There are often workshops here. I know that I brought my child to workshops when he was little.
Well, I think the future of the library is going to go some technologies, but it's surprising today that the book circulation is improving, and I'm so excited to see that. I want you to really know that that's something that I'm pleased about. So I don't see that stopping very soon. So we will pick up new technologies, as we should, and we will drop some as they become archaic, but the books will always go on.
Community meetings, I attend a lot of meetings of organizations. It's nice, you know, to have a room there.
I think a lot of times people probably still have the misconception that a library is a place where they store books, and there's a lot of other things that a library offers. There's multimedia, as far as computers, there is books, there's DVDs and movies, and there's just a plethora of resources available that's offered at each individual library.
It's a very, very nice thing that's available to you to use, to enjoy, whether it's to relax or come in and get necessary information that you need every day.
I think the fact that there are computers here, I have students whose parents don't have computer access at home but can get online to see their students' grades from the library. So they come here and get online. So the computers are certainly a big part of what's here.
I couldn't read a book, and now I can. Makes me feel good. But when I started going to a learning center, it helped me a lot.
I believe that a library is very important to a community because of the resources that it brings and offers to the community, but more importantly what it can offer from an economic development perspective as well as new residents coming in.
The staff is wonderful. I know if I can't find something, I can instantly go to the counter and someone will be there and they will go and help me find the book or help my kids. They're very friendly. They know my kids. They're just very helpful, very kind.
I believe because so many people are so transit anymore that a lot of people may not have access to the internet at home, to computers, and I do believe that always having a backup as for the library is wonderful.
I think the educational value as well as the enjoyment of books and a love for learning, a love for reading is so important to any community.
I think it's always a good connection for students to do things where there's an academic focus. I think the fact that there is reading going on at the library, that the studious people from the school are visiting the library, that people who care about learning are at the library, I think that's a good connection with any kind of learning for students to be exhibiting something at the library, if for no other reason because it pulls them into the library.
Now that I'm older and that my homework load has kind of increased, the library has been very useful to me. I've been able to come here and use the computers, use the Microsoft Word, the Office suite that they have installed here on the computers. The reference collection has been very valuable, you know, and the nonfiction books as well. It made it very easy for me to write reports and essays.
Or down the road, I would say, I want to get my GED. I'm moving along.
Library can be a cornerstone for a community to build upon. With the tough economic time that we're in, it gives a resource for people to go and find jobs. They almost act almost like a chamber of commerce for much of the material that people would go to a chamber of commerce for.
Many residents would be looking secondary to the schools, only to the schools. Libraries would be very critical. Libraries also might be an indicator of how progressive a community may be from a business investment, from a new industry moving into the community. It's a part of that infrastructure, that basic infrastructure that's required and needed in every community.
The library actually has several really good resources for cakes. If I'm short on an idea, I know I can go to the library and I can pick up a book there. If they don't have it, I know that they can find me one in one of the other branches. So it's just a really good place to go and find resources I may not have at home.
When people come into town or thinking to move into your town, they want to see the quality of life. They want to see what the school systems has and the amenities that the town offers. And having a library with all the different media and all the different things that it offers, I think is a very big quality of life addition.
Probably my favorite thing that I've discovered at the library would be the peanut butter buttercream frosting. I've used that several times in cupcakes and it's a really big hit. So
when people come into town, they see the amenities that the library has to offer, and they see that it's a community that really values the education and the things that a library has to offer that can help in all the different areas: business, personal, school.
My son is now a junior in high school, but when he was very little, just learning to read, we started coming to the library in the summer for the summer reading program. And we would check out books and then walk over to the Masonic Home Fountain and read together. And even though he's a junior now, we still participated in the summer program this last summer and hope we will again this next summer.
I've been coming to the library since I was a very little girl. My parents brought me here all the time as a little kid. It always seemed kind of a magical place to me. You know, I could travel all around the world just, you know, by picking up a book here at the library.
When we speak with new families coming to communities, they're looking for the location specifically of the library. They want to know that the library is very close, and they want to know what kinds of additional things that they offer outside of general books and reference materials. Are there other programs that are offered? Are there other facilities available? Do they do special programs? Those are the kinds of things that they're asking about.
the library is so important to my family just because it's a place where we can go and be together. My kids love going to the library. They can use it for school projects. We're all avid readers. I love going to the kids section with my kids and letting them pick out and see what they come up with. I love picking out things that I loved when I was a kid and saying, you know, read this and let me hear your opinion on it.
I love story time. As a little kid, it was kind of the highlight of my week. And I made a lot of lifelong friends through the library. One of the librarians here, Heather Grantham, has been an invaluable friend throughout my life.
I think the Learning Center is the best.
My favorite memories of the Johnson County Public Library probably involve the meetings that I've attended there, and a number of times we've used their facilities for other functions. I remember some school functions that we used, facilities. I remember meeting people there to do business. I've written contracts for purchase agreements with people at the library. I've copied documents. I've used a lot of the resources at the library.
My son, there's a hand chair, there's a blue hand chair in the children's section, and I have a almost 4-year-old, and that's the first place he goes. He goes straight for the chair, he picks out his favorite books, and he'll sit there and he'll read, he'll do his puzzles, and I enjoy seeing my kids sitting down and reading in the library because that's what I loved when I was a kid.
And I probably remember just taking the girls in there. The children's part was in the lower basement part of it, and it was just always, it was real bright, and it was just always, the girls were always in awe when we went down there because they couldn't believe all the books and everything that were there. So probably that's my biggest memory, is that.
It just has been a great experience for our family to be able to come to the Franklin Library and any of the libraries in Johnson County, because we've been to all of them.
I really think everybody should want to use the library.
I think it's a service that you can't put a price on.
It's a starting point. It's a building block of place to find research. So it can be for families, it can be for businesses, it can be for really anybody.
Come into the library and find out for yourself.
I just think there's something for everyone here.
Reading has contributed to my life in a lot of ways, and I think we need to maintain the library as a place that makes it easier for people to read.
My opinion of the library and how it compares to other government services is that it probably provides a better service in terms of the value, in terms of the cost associated with it and the value we receive in return.
A library at the center of your community, I think it reflects on the education. You know, I think it's very important.
I think the value of the library to our community is a central location where people can go to either learn, well, it's always in learning, but to either something as easy as getting a video or something as big as researching a project online with their computer system.
Well, I just think it's the grandest thing, and I think it really is. It really provides, with a small amount of taxation, provides us with more service than I feel the other tax dollars often does for me.